At the scrapyard in Tongrenpo, I found a powerful motorcycle. Don't mind that it's broken, but it has 4 exhaust pipes, and the engine is a Honda product. But this one is badly damaged. The rear is also broken, but none of that matters. It has 3 gauges on the dash, and the tachometer goes up to 16,000 revolutions per minute, and its fairing has a matte finish. So this bike is likely not just any sport bike. The owner sold it to me for 11.5 yuan per kilogram. That's 242 jin remaining. I managed to get this whole pile back. The front wheel is completely smashed. It's practically severed. This is its mirror. Half of it is worn away. I couldn't find the fuel tank. The rear wiring and frame were also severed together. But its engine shows no signs of disassembly or repair. These two are likely tightly assembled. First, put on your gloves. I need to find a way to get it started. The front wheel can really be described as smashed. Looking at the exhaust pipe, it must have crashed, and then detached and slid a long way. I wonder how the rider is doing. This rear frame and wiring. I don't know which guy used a torch to cut through it. With the tail frame removed, all the damaged parts of this bike are now dismantled. Now, as long as the cracked crankcase inside isn't damaged, we can find a way to repair it. The cracked crankcase inside is actually in good shape. The coil isn't damaged either. The engine's clutch drum is also intact. We are really lucky. It can still rotate inside. It's not seized. I think this engine shouldn't have too many problems. I continued to disassemble its carburetors. At first glance, nothing was left, but the edges of the casing still had aluminum rust. Let's ignore that for now. I'll connect an external power supply and try to get it running first. The engine can still turn now. I think there shouldn't be too many problems inside. Now we need to deal with its wiring. And this cracked crankcase. I can't weld this crankcase back. We'll have to find a way to buy a used part. This piece of junk alone cost me over 400 yuan, and that doesn't even include shipping. You can't imagine how expensive used parts are for this old junk. Once this cover is on, this engine should be complete, right? Now, let's sort out its wiring. This part was burnt. It's all melted now. The wires in the back are useless too. So I just bought a used igniter for it. This useless thing alone cost me 320 yuan. Since this bike doesn't even have a plug anymore, I had to wire it directly. But the wiring on this bike is just basic stuff for me. You won't believe it. A wire just shorted out. But that's okay. At least it proves the wiring is okay now. Now, let's get to its carburetor. After the girl who helped me left, I continued working on the carburetor, opening up the inside of the carburetor. It actually looks quite clean. But you can't imagine this bike is a 1987 model. I took this carburetor apart, disassembled it completely. It's just this many parts. Then I threw them all into the ultrasonic cleaner for 3 hours. After taking them out, they were clean inside and out. Then, reassembling it, putting it all back together. Then this single carburetor, I tossed it up in the air, and it became a quad carburetor setup. This way, its fuel system meets the conditions for starting. We temporarily connected a fuel bottle to it. Now it has fuel and power. So let's try it. Wish me luck. It has fuel and power. And I even gave it external power. Normally, it should react now, but it's not even sputtering. At first, I suspected it had no compression. I removed its piston and measured the compression twice. Both times it was 6.5 bar, which is enough. Then I measured its piston again. This time, there was really no spark. The problem is with the electrics. I'll trace it from the back forward. This bike was repaired back then. And it's still a 1987 model. There are only a few ignition wires. This shouldn't be difficult for us. I think the problem is very likely with this igniter. Luckily, we have the same model as a salvage bike. I'll pull it off and try swapping it out. We can now confirm. That the igniter is the issue. I don't know if it's the salvage part we bought. That's faulty. Or if we caused it when we short-circuited it earlier, damaging it too. Either way, it has power now, so we can try starting it. Wish me luck. Why is the crankcase leaking oil again? But the bike can actually start now. Let's swap it out first. It's really not running right. Not running smoothly at all. I just sorted out the wiring, and it should start now. The air filter is clogged again. I replaced the air filter, spent over 200 yuan more, and changed the engine oil. I think this bike should be fine now, right? Regarding the bike's electrical system, I've gone through it, at least twice from start to finish. Normally, it shouldn't be having these issues again, but I think this bike has a mind of its own. It's a bit stubborn. Man and machine become one. It's not just about describing the bike's handling. Like with this bike, it's stubborn, but we do have some basic knowledge. I removed all this problematic wiring, wrapped it with this yellow tape, and used this red utility knife. Let it dry for a bit. Let's first get rid of this grime on the frame and oil stains. I'm using dry ice cleaning. It costs 6 yuan per kilogram here, so I bought 20 kilograms. Regarding this wiring, I'm confident I did it right. With 20 kilograms of wiring, there shouldn't be any short circuits. But luckily, it did start earlier, which confirms for us that the engine is fine. This is the frame after dry ice cleaning. Sparkling clean. It should have removed years of grime. I also found all the damaged parts for this bike. They were all salvage parts, though. For the wiring, I used some yellow tape and sorted it all out again. And in Shichu Town, southern China, I managed to buy the complete fairing set for this 1987 Honda CBR23 Flower Tiger. The price really made my wallet hurt. I had to grit my teeth and do it. Now we can put it all together. Put on this red cloth cover. Bought at the scrapyard for 11.5 yen per kilogram. This 1987 Honda CBR23R is now considered fully restored. Its side profile is really beautiful, and it can now start perfectly. The engine's from the 80s Hondas. This series of engines can really be described as smooth as silk. It started up perfectly now. Let's take it out for a test ride. You're still young. You didn't get to experience that era. I can't describe to you how I felt, almost 40 years old, riding this flower tiger. Also, the small Hondas from the 80s were really well engineered. The overall riding experience this time is really satisfying. Thanks for your help. Wishing you good health.